Jimmy Dickinson, captain of England. Over 800 games, never booked, never sent off, no elbows, no late tackles, no raised voice. And still no statue at Wembley, no tribute from the FA, no chant in the terraces. He gave everything to one club. Led his country with calm, played with discipline when others played with fire. He didn't dive, didn't swear, didn't chase the spotlight. He just played. Clean, quiet, unbreakable. And when it ended, they let him go without a word. No farewell, no ceremony, no legacy protected. He didn't fade. They erased him. Subscribe if you still believe some legends weren't forgotten. They were ignored, because this isn't nostalgia, this is correction. And his name was Jimmy Dickinson. James William Dickinson was born on 25th April 1925 in Alton, Hampshire. Not a football city, not a place of noise, just stillness and the sound of war approaching. He didn't grow up chasing applause. He chased the ball through fields, dust, and silence. At 16, he joined Portsmouth. The year was 1941. England was burning. But football didn't stop. It adapted. It survived. He played in wartime matches. No league, no medals, just discipline. He turned out for Leeds United and Aldershot as a wartime guest. But his heart stayed with Portsmouth. No crowd sang his name, no scout hyped his style, but the real game was watching. And when the league returned in 1946, he returned with it. Not as a boy, as a quiet constant. Boots laced, head down, stillness intact. He didn't ask for a debut moment. He asked for the ball and never let go. The war ended and football returned. So did Jimmy Dickinson. His league debut came in 1946. No fireworks, no back-page headlines, just a quiet man in a Portsmouth shirt doing everything right. He didn't shout orders, didn't dive into tackles. He read the game like a book he already knew the ending to. And Portsmouth rose. In 1948-49, they won the First Division, the first title in the club's history. Jimmy played every match. They weren't done. In 1949-50, they did it again. Back-to-back champions, no fluke, no lucky breaks, just structure, discipline, and a man in midfield who never lost his place. They shared the Charity Shield in 1949, but Jimmy never chased medals. He chased order and delivered it. He didn't score the goals, didn't lift the cup first. But he was the spine, the reason others could shine. He didn't need the armband to lead. He led through presence. Still, composed, unshakable. When fans speak of that team, they name scorers. But when Portsmouth stood tallest, it was Jimmy Dickinson holding the base. Jimmy Dickinson played 764 league matches for Portsmouth, over 800 in all competitions. Still the most in the club's history. And across all those games, all those tackles, all those battles, he was never booked. Not once, no yellow, no red, not even a warning. In an era where studs were sharp and referees looked the other way, he stayed upright, stayed clean, stayed calm. He didn't back away from the fight. He just found a better way to win one. While others flew in, he stepped in. While others argued, he positioned. While others snapped, he held the line. He never crossed it. When fists flew behind the referee's back, he kept his down. Not out of fear, out of control, out of principle. They talk about fair play. He was it. In motion, in boots, in silence. It wasn't just discipline, it was identity. He didn't just protect the game, he reminded it what it could be. Jimmy Dickinson wore the shirt every boy dreams of. England. He made his debut in 1949, earned 48 caps for his country, played at 2 World Cups, 1950 in Brazil, 1954 in Switzerland. And more than once he wore the armband. No slogans, no theatrics, just trust. They called him captain, not because he shouted, but because he didn't need to. While others launched into tackles, he anchored the midfield. Balanced, measured, always there. He didn't chase attention, but attention kept finding him. Because calm in a storm always stands out. He didn't make enemies, he made standards. And then, as quietly as he rose, England let him go. No testimonial, no headline tribute, no place in the national myth. His name faded while louder ones echoed. He gave England grace, England gave him silence. Jimmy Dickinson never left. Not for trophies, not for money, not for anything. He played for Portsmouth and only Portsmouth until the day he retired. 1965. 24 years of service. One badge, one heartbeat. By the end, the glory was gone. The titles were history. The crowds weren't as loud. But Jimmy stayed. 764 league matches, over 800 in total. Not one single transfer. He could have left. Others did. Stars moved on, money talked. But Dickinson, he gave them their rise and stayed for their fall. When he hung up his boots, he didn't walk away. He became club secretary, then general manager. Then, when Portsmouth were falling apart, he stepped in as manager. From 1977 to 1979, he tried to hold the club together with the same calm he once held midfield. There were no wins, no banners, no redemption arcs, just pressure, debt, decline, and Jimmy still standing in the middle of it. He wasn't chasing success anymore. He was defending memory, defending home. Jimmy Dickinson died on the 8th of November 1982. Age 57. Cancer. No national minutes silence. No tribute at Wembley. No voice from the FA. Just silence. Just another name they didn't say out loud. He'd captained England, played over 800 games, never been booked, never walked away. And when he was gone, England didn't pause. The papers moved on. The noise returned. But Portsmouth didn't forget. At Fratton Park, flags were lowered, voices broke, the terraces stood still. Because this man, this calm, unshakable man, wasn't just a player to them. He was memory, he was structure, he was theirs. But outside that corner of Hampshire, there was no thunder, just absence. He passed like he played, without a fuss, without a scream. But that doesn't mean we should have stayed quiet. There's a statue outside Fratton Park, Jimmy Dickinson, hands behind his back, eyes forward, not triumphant, just still. There's a stand named after him too, the Jimmy Dickinson stand. The club never forgot. Portsmouth never forgets. They remember what English football did not. That loyalty isn't loud. That discipline doesn't trend. That greatness can live in silence. He was later inducted into the English Football Hall of Fame, but that came quietly too. No national spotlight, no ceremony on primetime, no statue at Wembley, no street in his name, no national day of thanks. They honored the noisy ones, the controversial ones, the marketable ones. Jimmy Dickinson, he just stood for everything the game forgot how to value. And still he stands, in bronze, in memory, in principle, but only in Portsmouth. One club, one shirt, over 800 matches, 0 cards, captain of England, no scandal, no spotlight, no scream for glory, just boots on the pitch, and a standard no one's reached since. He didn't dive, didn't curse, didn't sell himself to the highest bidder. He stood where he was, and stayed. When others chased fame, he chose principle. When the noise rose, he stayed silent. When the game moved on, he stayed behind. And still, he was erased. But not by us. His silence roared louder than their fame. Subscribe if loyalty should still mean something. This is Correction. And his name was Jimmy Dickinson.